Pinstar, and this is Good Company Strategy and Tactics, Episode 7. So, we fast-forwarded just a little tiny bit, and while, yes, we are still technically in the red, things are actually turning themselves around now that our different supply chains are getting up and running, and we're also about to finish off both of our company goals with time to spare. See, I told you there'd be no problem with that. There goes that one with the delivery of this big batch of Valinruculators. And yeah, there goes the second one. Bada boom, bada bang. And that transitions us to a nice new thing. The reason why we haven't been spending any of our success or discovery points recently is because we've been saving up. There's one thing that I highly recommend, regardless of what products you go into. The early game products that you dip into early on might be different just based on the circumstances and availability, but there's one business development thing that I suggest that is really, really good. And this is also going to segue into my whole spiel about pick rate. So we're going to go down here. You might think like, oh, I have to unlock all the stuff on top to get to the stuff at the bottom. Nope, this is just sort of, I don't want to say randomly segmented, but it's kind of segmented. And the item that we want here is this, Additional Capacity B. For 100 discovery points and 200 success points, we get two very crucial items. One is the big shelf. This thing is huge, and this thing also plays into our waltz build very nicely, which I will show momentarily. But this also gives us a global policy, storage ergonomy. All employees get plus 40% picking speed, but minus 10% walking speed. Now, what is picking speed? And we kind of we're going to go into this with the route logistics as well. Well, picking speed, if we, let's say, take a look at this person here. So they're building a battery, and now what are they doing here at the shelf? I wish I could rotate a little bit more clearly. But look at them. They're there at the shelf for a little while. And then they grab more stuff and start building a battery there. They were there for precisely 2 seconds. That is the default base pick rate. Whenever an employee has to pick something up off of a shelf and or drop it off of a shelf, they must go through the pick animation. And that animation depends on their pick rate. Now, the problem with pick rates is that, you look at their chemistry table. This thing starts with a base of 0.5 days, gets even faster with different bonuses and modifiers, but they can't actually build them that quickly because every time they finish a battery, they have to walk back to the shelf and do a pick rate. The walk time is minimal, but the pick rate is the bigger of the two. Now we have a tool in our toolbox to actually combat the pick rate. So we go here to Wilkins Workshop and turn that on. Now their pick rate is 50% or 40% faster. That allows them to drop their stuff off and get their stuff faster, start the next thing faster, do it faster. So this is a significant boost to our module and component production, even though the bonus does not explicitly say module and component production boosts. So this is going to get our raw material output going much faster. So we're going to want to turn it on for there. We're going to want to turn it on for JC's Junction. Now, it's less effective here because the base time for assembling stuff is much longer than that of a module. So our employees are spending more time here doing this than they are picking stuff, so a pick rate bonus isn't as impactful. That being said, because we haven't unlocked some of the assembly speed stuff yet, we might as well turn it on here for now. Just for the time being. It's not gonna be there permanently. Now, for the other part of this that makes things really nice with our build here is in the assembly. Notice how when we have these two cubes facing each other, we have two little shelves. And this sometimes causes problems because we have limited space, especially with the Valinruculators, which have 4 different components. We only have storage for 2 of the completed ones. So we're gonna fix that, at least for these. with the large shelf. So what we're going to do is we're going to deconstruct. Don't worry, it's not going to delete the products that are on the shelf. It'll just bring it down to our inventory. We'll put these onto our thing over here because we don't need them on the shelf. Then we go down here, delete that shelf, put these products away. And now what we're going to do is get our big shelf and put it in the middle like that. The other thing we want to do is let's move these signs, because now these happiness boosting signs are actually kind of in the way. So we can just stick them off into a corner where they can still continue to give their buff. So now on this big shelf, we have room for each of these. I'm gonna boost the number of slots for the multitude things, but the stylish case we only need one of per product, so we can keep that as such. And then the rest of the space can be for butterfly mamas, so they have a place to stay. This is especially important when you have luck procs, because when an employee makes 2 of a thing, they might clog up the shelf if there isn't enough room. But this gives us enough room and makes our logistics people more efficient. Now, just so that they don't run out of stuff, let's put our products back on here. They're pretty well stocked too. All right, so now let's do the same for our Valinruculators, which actually really need these here. And we'll do the same thing. We'll stick the finished products on there manually, just as a one-time thing. Just to get them where they're going and make sure there's enough room. Put that there. Oops. And then, yeah, we can do multitudes of these and then have enough space for 11 Valinruculators, which is still more than enough. The more the better, but you know, it's a lot more than the 2 they were getting off of the small shelf. There we go. Perfect. And then, yeah, that got rid of these guys' overrides, so they should override to this shelf here. Now, lastly, we're going to do the same to here. I'll see you on the flip side. Okay, we have installed our large shelves. Now, notice one other interesting thing here is that when we were condensing our shelves, none of the shelves had any kind of supply problems. And we're starting to get a buildup of modules here at the receiving thing. So we know we have more than enough production, and by implementing this rule, we're going to get even more module production. But the only other problem, though, is that we might be bumping into the limits of the market. We sold 46 virtual pets, 18 calculators, but we're going to sell a lot more calculators on this round. What is... Yeah, it looks like the calculators will get there on time. And our finances certainly need it. We do need to come out of the red before our timer ticks down, but I am confident in our ability to do that, even though we just spent a bunch of money. You know, we're back down on our discovery points, and we can't take more missions until the quarter lapses over. You know, even if we could complete these, we can't take them. You can only complete 3 per quarter, and we won't get their passive buffs until the quarter rolls over. But we did get the success point buff. Now, one other thing you'll notice that we finished our 2 things, and yeah, look at this. So we just the week just rolled over. We made a crap ton of money, not quite enough to get us out of the red, but you can see our weekly profit is in the positive. So probably by the next week we will be in the green unless we spend too much, which I don't intend on spending too much. But notice how there were leftover products on both of these. If we take a look at our market here, so the Valinruculator, we took up a good healthy share of the market, but now there's no more empty space left. We can't get the full 60 because of our competitors. And even though we are a 5-star stuff, they have enough of sales power that they can, carve out their own little nooks. Now, I have tested this. Putting a discount on a 5-star product in an attempt to just claw more sales from the market doesn't work. Unfortunately, it does nothing. It lowers your profit. The only real way that we're going to be able to get more market share is by progressing the market. Because we already know our Valinculator is future-proofed. It's ready for phase 2. Not only will that increase the weekly demand, but it'll also knock down the demand for our competitors unless theirs are also future-proofed. So that will be our way for us to meaningfully get more market share out of these. Same goes with Virtual Pet. If we look at the sales, we've been dominating this. And unfortunately, the friend, he was able to sell 20 of those. So once again, we got to progress the phase here and hope he can't keep up. Now that's going to cause us to build up a little bit of inventory here, which is somewhat problematic, but I don't think he's going to tank us. But we do want to diversify into another product line, but we don't really have the capital to massively expand out into another module production line. So what we want to do is we want to actually take some of our existing production and translate it into a third product, but we need to reuse some of the same modules. Now, looking at the various products here, the Pocket Computer requires processing power, so that's a brand new module type that we'd have to start building. Toy robots, which is one thing I am sort of gunning for, that's the whole reason why we want the wooden bot chassis. That'll be good once we get the wooden bot chassis, but that doesn't make use of our existing modules. It's going to need to have its own brand new modules. So the one thing that we're hoping is game devices, display fidelity and battery life, the exact same features as the Virtual Pet and the calculator. Problem is this has 150 thing. Now we could have saved our discovery points from the shelf buy, but I think the shelf buy is just too important to pass up at this early game. Plus, there's a decent chance one of our opponents will open the market for us, and once they open the market, then we're golden. We can hop onto that market, because even if they're first to market does not mean that they're going to be the best in the market, and we can start carving out a little nook of our own there using the modules that we've got, so that way we don't start building up an inventory and get even more. Because look at this. Well, somebody opened up the toy robot, which is good because that means we don't have to spend any discovery points to open the toy robot. I'm not going to dive in until we get the wooden bot chassis. One other thing to note is wooden bot chassis requires not only a lot of research, but a lot of level 2 research. The thing with level 2 research is that it takes longer for your research desks to digest it. I'm going to wait for us to get back into the green, but then I'm probably going to build a couple more research desks just so that we can research it a little bit faster. Because we are still going to get a good payoff from both of these, from selling all of this material. I mean, we are at literal maximum capacity for our butterfly mamas, and yeah, there's our remaining capacity after the sales, 42 and 34. But we're back in the green. We have reset our bankruptcy timer, so we are golden in that front. This is why I was so careful in rolling all this out. Now the other possibility, instead of waiting for that, is to actually break ourselves into the mobile phone, or the pocket computer rather. And then use this little bit of extra space that we have here to get the processing power modules built, and then use the rest of the stuff for that. What I really want to do is I'm gonna actually wait for the company goals to roll over, because I want to see if the company goals are pointing in me in one direction or another. Then that can help sort of guide us there. if it requires any sort of retooling. What I'll most likely do is just kick the can and keep building more pallets to hold excess inventory here. In fact, let's do that now. We're going to do another courier pallet. We'll put you down here. And get another one here. This one will be for the butterfly mama. Maximum. This one be the valendriculator. Maximum capacity. And then we will get ourselves a few research desks. So that we can research a little bit faster. Yes, I know we just pushed ourselves back in the negative, but it reset the timer and we're going to go back out of the negative once we make our next sale. Because we certainly have enough production for all this stuff. All right, I'm going to see you on the flip side once we reach the end of the quarter. Because at this point, we're coasting. We're not quite at the quarter, but with our last bit of sales here, 47 virtual pets, 40 calculators. So calculators doing better now. We hit our milestone number 1, which is also very important. So we get 200,000 G's out of this. Or rather, no, 100,000 G's, 50 success points, 20 discovery points, and gives us a new perk we can assign to our employees. So that helps us out immensely. So now, not only are we in the green, we're very healthily in the green. It also helps refill some of our success points and discovery points. We're going to need even more discovery points if we're going to open up that one market. And our opponents have not opened up the games pad market yet. I kind of wish they would, but they have not yet. But again, still waiting for the rollover quarter. We got 6 more days, so see you then. Okay, we are back. We just rolled over the quarter and just sold another batch of our stuff here. 45 virtual pets, 34 calculators. Again, the fluctuations in the market are really dependent on our competitors. If they slack on the amount that they're producing, then we immediately sell into the open market. But we can't just shove them out completely. Nobody has opened up any other markets yet. So, but we did get our new set of company goals. So let's take a look. These can be a bit of a crapshoot. Also, we now officially have the passive bonuses from the first quarter's company goals. So our materials purchase are 2% cheaper. Nice. We get 1 discovery point for every 88 virtual pets that we produce. Nice. We do need those discovery points. And then this is the reason why I swapped it. We get a further 5% picking speed bonus. Now then, let's see here. Produce 240 calculators with at least 40. Yeah, we can do that. Plastic type component batches is a thing. Products within a zone by logistic employees. I mean, yeah. Now this is within a zone, but just taking them off the shelves and putting them on the pallet counts. So, heck yeah. And then increasing our picking speed rewards. Ooh. Although, actually what I might do, I might cancel that because these two kind of play off of each other. Sell 24 stacks of components to the market, which gives us a market price bonus. So we just get more money for all of our products, which is really good. And then just producing this gives us a crafting speed bonus, which is also really good. Now, crafting speed only applies to modules and components. It does not apply to final products. That's called assembly speed. So yeah, because these two play off of each other and have really good benefits, even though I don't really want to sell components to the market, we're gonna. Because these bonuses work well to each other. And then yeah, we can get the tier 2 logistics one, get our logistics employees going even higher. And this should be fine. So yes, I do like the calculator one, but that's only 1 discovery point for every 100 produced. So that'll have to be left on the shelf. If I could take 4, I'd take that too, but we can't. All right, so now we have to make a couple of choices here. We need to decide what to do with up here, and we need to do something. So what I think we're going to do, I need to decide where I want to put our plastic component production, and because we're just going to produce the components and sell them. We're not even going to use them. But then we need to also get into another product here. And yeah, we don't, the cassette player has the same problem as the other, so we might as well go pocket computer. Although, let me take a look at the cassette player. Yeah, it does need 2 of those. So we don't have a lot of tech with this. But we might as well use our stylish case. We know we need it. And by request, by one of my Name and Game patrons, we have the 2000 Zenidar Pocket Pal 2001. What is going to... I like this one. Yeah, caramel works well with the with that. So let's see what we can get here. We want to make sure we're using modules that we're already producing, since we're going to be using some of those for this anyway. So we want to use battery stacks because we're using those. We want to use, we need a 1.0 visual fidelity. Let's go LED matrix because we already are producing those. And then for the processing power, that's going to be the tricky part. So logic circuits here require, yeah, these both require some subcomponents, but these are a little beefier. Let's see what we can get here. If we go here and here, then a simple circuit, yeah, see this, I don't like it. I'd rather have 3 of these. But that's going to be difficult with the stylish case. I don't know if we can do that. Yeah, you can only have 4 corner pieces. And, well, technically we only need, wait a minute, we only need 1 thing of battery. What am I doing here? We get 3 logic circuits. And then for visual, we just LED array since we're making those already. 485 profit, not too shabby. I'm going to leave that in temp because I want to see what is the pocket calculator's next phase. You're not quite future-proofed. You need more battery, which we can meet the battery. We meet the visual. Actually, no, it is future-proofed. We do have a future-proofed pocket calculator. Fantastic. Now what we're going to need to do is get that set up. Find a way to get those components processed here. But we will figure it out. All right, in our next episode, we're going to be wedging the pocket calculator or pocket computer in there. so that we're not overproducing our other two main lines, and that way we're selling three products at the same time while we wait for our tech for our toy robot to come in. One last thing before we end the episode is now that we need to get into electronics, we do need to get our electronics workbench. We've actually avoided having to use them, but now we're going to need them proper. Well, luckily we have the points for it. Bada boom. Alright, so if you guys like this episode and you want to see more like it, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment, good, bad, or indifferent. Your feedback's always welcome. So until next time, it's been Pinstar signing out. See ya!